This is Polykill, where two men, outnumbered by their games and at war with time, undertake the quest of defeating their lengthy backlogs. Please adjust your seat and prepare your ears for the banter of your hosts, Jake and Travis.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Polykill podcast. As always, we're your host. I'm Travis. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Trav Plays Games. Sitting across from me, taking a big old tall swig of Bud Light, is Jake. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at the McAxel. Welcome back, Jake.
Good to be back in the saddle again.
That's how that song goes.
I am a robot now. I've come back with cybernetic implants, and I have turned into a robot.
And all you do is sing ACDC or Aerosmith lyrics.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Back in the saddle again. No, it's good to be back. I appreciate everybody reaching out. Those of you who did, I think both of you who reached out and asked if I was okay. Thank you for that. I'm still not fine, but I'm back. So this got a pretty cool show coming up for you this episode. Bringing back something that we've done, I guess, for a couple years now. This will be the third one or second one?
I think this will be the second one.
Second one, okay. I was thinking we did three, but, I'm old. I'm forgetting things.
It's true. Yes, we're here for, what would have been March Madness,
right.
But since March Madness is gone, we're just doing some spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning? Spring madness.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's all madness.
Madness.
We're going to clean out those backlogs in tournament-style fashion.
Yeah.
Should be a good time. Should borrow a line from our friend Miles.
Should, yeah. Now, if you're new to the show, this is a podcast where Trav and I talk about beating games. We both have enormous backlogs of games. We keep adding to them for some reason. But there's a churn that happens. Usually the input is greater than the output when it comes to completing games. But what we do is we talk through what we are working on, what we're chiseling away at, and hopefully you enjoy it, and let's get to it.
Let's do it. On to recent pickups and on the radar. So pickups for me.
Yeah.
I did another pickup video. Pickup Videos Volume 3.
Yeah.
And got a gracious gift from, well, it's not really a gift. I bought most of it, but there was some stuff in there that I didn't expect.
There you go.
From our friend.
I did. I expected them.
Well, because he talked to you about it and so forth. And so our good friend Sean at Cartridge Bros, the head honcho of the Cartridge Club, I believe you could say.
You could.
CartridgeClub.org. You refer to that video, but the main ones from that, the ones that I guess most people would have heard of, are, of course, Shining Force and Shining in the Darkness from that series.
Nice.
Phantasy Stars 2 through 4.
Oh, shit.
Pirates of Darkwater was in
See, I thought you said Phantasy Stars Tooth.
Tooth.
Because you said 2 through 4, and I just caught onto that tooth.
Yeah, 2 through 4, yes.
Tooth?
Okay.
Through 4.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're back.
Yeah.
Wild Arms 1 and 2, and Elemental Gimmick Gear.
God, I love Wild Arms opening music.
Yeah.
It's some of the best shit.
I
got
now
a nice whistle track, anime. It's gorgeous.
We featured that here on the show.
We did. I love it.
Yeah, I now have Wild Arms 1 through 3, and I've not played a lick of any, but
nice.
I do plan to.
I have them all digitally, so
there you go.
One of these days I'll play them.
Do it.
Probably won't.
And then I also was able to get a hold of a Far Cry 5, but not without a struggle.
There was an epic Herculean struggle to get this fucking game.
Yeah, I'll start because it kind of starts with me.
It does.
So we go to we do a Target thing.
Yes.
Months ago.
November.
Was it November?
Yeah, it was the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and so we got the buy two get one. Is that how it went?
Correct. You, me, and Briz went in. We're like, what do we want?
Right. And I didn't really want anything that was out right now. And I believe somebody else pre-ordered a game, right?
No, you were the only one.
I was the only one. So I said, well, if we can do pre-orders, Far Cry 5 for me.
And I was like, let me check the fine print. And they're like, pre-orders accepted. I was like, cool, let's do it.
And we said, let's get it on Xbox One. Since I share the PS4 with Brian,
right?
It'll be a good time for me to get it on the Xbox One.
Give the PS4 back to him.
Because we even lined up the months and everything. And it hasn't turned out that way because I've been playing Persona 5 on it for the last 4 months. But,
correct.
Still wanted the Far Cry on Xbox One. That was how we wanted it. That's how we meant to get it.
Yes.
Fast forward to last week, and you give me a package. I can't wait to get home.
Right. I didn't open it. I was just like,
here's your package.
Here's your package. Just came, and I know what it is.
Yeah. And so I wait. I get home, and I'm going to go ahead and install this. Maybe I'll stream tonight. I'll do something I've never done. I'll stream this.
Yes.
This will be fun. I feel like upwards of 4, if not 5 people will enjoy my commentary on this situation.
Sure, no doubt.
This being alone in the wilderness trying to basically dodge snakes is what the game essentially is to me at this point.
Right.
Well, it's the PS4 version.
Yeah.
Deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Not what we ordered.
Not at all.
The piece of paper says Xbox One edition. Return no later than February 23rd, which is
easily a month
ago.
Yeah, before we even got this thing. Yeah.
So that's when I hand it off to you and I say, please fix.
Yes. So I do the thing that I should have done to begin with, which is I call Target customer support and I say, hey, I placed this order online. So I didn't want to take it back to a store. It's like, this is an online order. And not to mention, it says return by 2/23, which was around the original release date for the game, which it got delayed by the publisher. So it came out later, but that detail did not get updated in the paperwork. So I was like, hey, this is what's going on. Ordered it. It's the wrong version. Right game, wrong version. What can we do to fix this? So I call, and I'm on the phone for probably 15 minutes with this fellow who just keeps saying, okay, give me a moment. I'm checking some information. And he says this at least a dozen times on the call, just give me a moment. I'm checking some information, which I know is, I've worked at call centers before. I know that's call center speak for I have no fucking clue what's going on. I am new here and I'm just clicking on things hoping to find something. So I felt for the guy, places me on hold, comes back. He's like, actually, this is going to need to go to our account specialist team, the level 2 support. They're not going to be open for another hour and a half. But here is a case number that you can just give to them and they will handle it for you. I said, okay. So I wait a couple hours, call back, and then I get another frontline person and I say, hey, look, I don't want to waste your time, but I need to speak with someone like an account specialist, level 2 support. I have a case number. Let's roll on with this process. And they're like, okay, I'll transfer you. So transfer, speak to this lady. I was like, here's my case number. She's like, okay, so it looks like you got the wrong thing. I was like, yeah, but not the complete wrong thing, but just the wrong version of the right thing. And she's like, okay, I don't know exactly what that means. So I have to explain to her
how Xbox
console platforms. So go through that. And then she's like, okay, so I think the easiest thing for you to do at this point would be to just take this to a local store. Here's a case number you can give them if they have questions about it. And then they should just be able to trade it out for you. I said, okay. And then I guess maybe an hour or two later, I get an email that says your refund is being processed. I'm like,
wait a minute.
Excuse me. And I open up the email and it's from Target and it's like, your refund for this item is being processed. And it's a picture of Assassin's Creed Origins, which is one of the other 3 games that we got. And I was like, what the fuck? So, anyway, like it becomes a bit more exacerbated. I text them back or email them back. I'm like, look, I do not want a refund because the price that we paid for this game was like $41, which is going to be about $20 less than actually me going and buying this new copy. So I don't want a refund. I just want to exchange it. So anyway, I just sort of let that trail off. They never really responded to that for a bit, and then they came back and were like, no, it's fine. We'll refund you this. Then you place another Target.com order for it. Send us the order number, and then we'll refund you the difference. I'm like, this is a lot of work for me. This does not make sense for me to have this. So I just ignored that completely. Just ignored the fact this was going to happen. And then I just take it to our local Target, and I walk up to the customer service desk, and I'm like, look, this is what's going on. And the guy behind the counter was sort of like a taller, less curly-haired version of Napoleon Dynamite. That's the best way I can describe him. Wow. He's just like, you're not the first person this has happened to, I assure you. I'm like, well, thanks. I'm glad that you have maybe a plan in place to fix this. He's like, yeah, we'll get this exchange for you, no problem. I was like, okay, cool. So I hand him the game. I'm like, look, this is the one. Here's the receipt. He's like, yeah, we can take care of this. So there's like this associate. She looked fairly new. She was like taking returns from there, to redistribute throughout the store. And he's like, could you get this gentleman a copy of Far Cry 5 on Xbox One? And she's like, Xbox 360 or Xbox One? And I did not jump into that conversation. But I was like, Xbox One. She's like, okay. She walks like 20 feet. She says, Xbox One? I was like, Xbox One. Okay. So I wait up there for another 3 or 4 minutes with Nappy Dye. And he's like, I'm really sorry about all this, sir. And I'm like, that's fine. No big deal. I mean, it is a huge deal at this point. But he has only dealt with, a tip of the iceberg. So 3 or 4 minutes go by. She brings up the deluxe version of the Xbox One, which was not the same SKU as the one that I had for PS4. So then he has to call electronics, and then they bring another copy up. And in the end, it finally gets, we finally get a 1-for-1 trade, and still ended up getting a refund for the purchase price. So, like, whatever.
That's just for your hard times.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with that. So anyway, needless to say, I'll never be pre-ordering a game from Target again.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. I might, go in the store and pick one up if I can see it with my eyes and know it's the right version.
Right.
But I'm not going to pre-order anything again.
What a headache.
Yeah, and all your fault because you weren't satisfied with anything that was out in November.
It's somehow all my fault, not Target's.
Not Target's.
Well, either way, I appreciate the trouble you went through to get it.
Yeah,
because I've had fun with it.
Yeah, I hope
absolutely.
It's worth it.
Yeah, and I just want to also call out our friend Miles, who said he wasn't going to buy a game for 6 months, but is somehow playing Far Cry 5.
And no one's called him out about this.
I don't think so.
I just noticed that he was playing it one day. I was like, bitch got a trophy. Was he fucking playing it?
Yeah, I don't know. So Miles, if you're out there,
yeah,
let us know why you're a piece of shit because you broke your New Year's resolution.
Exactly, Miles. Jeez.
Yeah. Speaking of New Year's resolutions, real quick, how are you doing on those?
I haven't bought anything.
You haven't bought anything except for Monster Hunter World,
right?
Which we busted your balls on.
Which I still, I'm chalking that up to a pre-order transfer and not a purchase. So
all right,
I think I'm still good.
There's still some
a month and a half left, and then I'm just going to go. Probably still not buy any games because now I have major financial problems.
Fair enough. Now you're doing it out of like real life necessity.
Now it's just necessity.
Fair enough.
No.
And you did well, so you haven't picked up anything. So
correct.
All right, so games that are on our radars, looks like we share the same one.
We
here
do.
For the next couple weeks between April 9th and April 22nd. The only thing coming out, dropping that's hot that we want is God of War.
God of War, 420 Blaze It. 420
Blaze It, so the real 420.
The real 420 Blaze It. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of expectation of this game, frankly, and I don't really know why. It looks great, but in the past few weeks, there's been a lot of specials in various gaming publications. Like it's been sort of a focus. Corey Balrog, I think is his name, was the game director, has been making the rounds, talking about the game and people getting some gameplay impressions, and people are really, 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 really high on it. And I think between that and playing Monster Hunter in a strange way has made me want to play this game because combat kind of looks somewhat similar. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this, and I'll probably not buy it, but maybe borrow your copy once you're done.
Yeah, that's assuming that I
assuming you get it.
Yeah, it might happen because my wife was particularly interested in it because every E3 I watch the trailers and I kind of make her watch them. I'm like, check out this trailer for this game just to see if she's interested in any of them.
Sure.
And she was particularly interested in that one.
Nice.
So it looked cool. I think the Nordic snowy mountains reminded her of Skyrim.
Fair enough.
It looked like an intimate story between a parent-child kind of thing.
Yep.
Some bows.
Some real human stuff, even though he's a god. Yeah.
Yes, and she's not familiar with any of the previous entries, which are certainly not the same as what's being shown here.
Not at all.
So she's not skewed by that, which is probably good.
That's good. Yeah,
I don't think she would like those as much.
I don't.
Right. So anyway, that's one reason I'm interested in it. So if I do get it, it's probably not going to be a day one thing, and it might not be a first couple months thing. But I do eventually hope to play it.
Yeah, same.
What happened last time?
Previously on Polykill, Jake takes an episode off and Briz steps up to the plate to fill in nicely. Trav beats a handful of games, including Chrono Trigger, while Briz polishes off Rhyme. Together they couch co-op Colon and continue to plug away on Outlast 2. Sea of Thieves is a hot topic, but the greatest video game party on the eastern seaboard serves as the topic of disguise.
All right, so that takes us into games that we've completed.
Yeah,
Let's
girl.
hit it. 1, 2, 3.
We're just gonna beat it. Yo, we're just gonna beat it. And we're not gonna play it anymore.
D. Snyder.
D. fucking Snyder.
Is still a very ugly man.
Yep.
All right, games we've completed. One that I knocked off the list with our good buddy Brian, former host of the show, Butt Shaft Glue.
Yeah, now that's a serious sabotage there. That's unrecognizable.
It's also the weirdest reason to go to the ER.
Yeah.
Because you have some, listen, I don't want to have to explain this, but I have glue in my butt shaft.
It's just up in there.
It's up all the way up in there. And it's hardened. It's dried.
Yes.
That's why we have a problem.
Right.
But no, it's Outlast 2.
Outlast 2. Now, this is a game that you both were excited about, I think, because you both enjoyed the first one. And this is, oddly enough, a game that I kind of am interested in, even though I don't like horror games necessarily, but it's about a cult or a series of cults or a collection. And I find that very interesting. And weirdly enough, it sort of stealth dropped onto Switch the other day.
Yeah.
Just kind of out of nowhere. So
I think I remember them mentioning it, and then we had a brief conversation about how weird it was for that game in particular to be on the Switch, because early Switch vibes were this is going to be a
bright,
friendly
colorful
Nintendo platform, but
they're stepping away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the first one sort of shadow dropped too. The first Outlast. It was like, boom. Oh, by the way, overnight, guys, Outlast showed up. Like no one really knew what was happening, and then sort of the same thing happened with Outlast 2.
Now there are in the first Outlast, there's certainly a lot of dicks and papers.
A lot of dong.
A lot of dong in it.
Yep. I don't know if you saw it, but I was doing the swinging thing motion. He was there.
It's in there. It's in there. So Jake, if your pregnant wife was abducted by a cult, you'd parkour through hell to get her back, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
That's what you got to do in this game.
Yeah.
That's 100% it. You're parkouring basically through the. Is
it hardcore parkour though?
Hardcore parkour.
Oh, yeah.
Now I will say that I think it's less hardcore parkour than the first one. I think the first one had us running more from stuff.
Right.
It had us hiding a lot more.
Okay.
And playing this one, I don't know if we just approach it with more confidence. It's also this one's less claustrophobic.
Okay,
it's
that's nice.
Very outside and that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if maybe we hid more than we should have in the first one because it was so confined.
I feel
and
like
dark.
everybody I watched play that game did that though. There was a lot of running, a lot of frantic scrambling to get from one point to another.
Now this one certainly picks up, but I feel like it has longer periods of not doing that, whereas the first one felt like you're just constantly under attack, under stress.
What I played of the first one did not seem to slow down very much for narrative.
Right.
Does this one do that?
Yeah, it's got a few interjections of narrative. It'll cut to some cutscenes and that kind of thing. So
interesting.
It also flashes back and forth between sort of a memory that is being affected or sort of a vision and then the real world. So there's two modes. So one is indoor claustrophobic in a different time setting and place, and the other one is you're outside in this trying to dodge cults.
Gotcha.
So pretty cool. There's a lot more polish on this one. I mean, it's an extremely beautiful game.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you saying that. You sent out a few tweets about some screenshots. Got a little love from Red Barrels there.
I feel like the screenshots don't really do it justice because the game is so dark.
Right.
Like the beauty is sort of like I realized after I put those on that I had to turn the brightness completely up on my phone to look at them. And I was like, I hope people notice how great these are.
Sure.
But, both are. I mean, I highly recommend both of those games. I think they're fantastic. Great length too, just 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, that's what you need.
And you're completely helpless. Basically, you're just running around looking for batteries for your camera to see, and if you don't have those, you're fucked. And that's actually an achievement: is beating the game on the hardest difficulty without reloading your battery, which means you're navigating in the dark for most of the game, which is crazy to me.
That is crazy.
It's extremely rare, like less than 1% of people.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
But the tip for this game, because it feels very open, is just follow the light. I know that's an obvious thing in a dark video game, right? But they're very clever about it, where it seems like you could go anywhere. Mm-hmm. But if you just sort of follow the brightest light, you'll be okay.
Nice. Sounds like good advice for life.
In general, yes.
Yeah.
What about you?
So, now these are a little dated. I haven't beat really anything since the last Polykill came out.
You didn't have to tell everybody then.
It's fine. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. That's what I'm about.
All right.
Being honest and transparent. So, but anyway, so some of these are fairly well known because some of these were beaten by other club members and other folk. But Super Hot on Xbox One. It was a good month for me for the free games with gold. Usually I don't give a flying fuck about those. This past month I was like, hey, these seem pretty cool. I was actually an initial Kickstarter backer for Super Hot. So I've had it on PC for years, but just never got around to playing it. And then here we go. I'll just play it on my couch with a controller like a mound. And sat down on one afternoon, I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and just played through the whole thing.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. And if you can remember the first few levels, which I'm sure you've played before, you can sort of zip through them.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun, though. Got some pretty cool achievements by, doing some acrobatics and some smart moving and getting people to shoot themselves and whatnot. But I had a lot of fun with that. I really did enjoy it, and I'm really actually kind of intrigued to try the VR version over at Brian's one of these days, because that seems like a perfect vehicle for VR.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a little different because you don't get to run and move as much.
Sure.
Sort of in one spot, but that's also kind of cool too because you just really feel like Like, I feel like on the console versions, the segments are longer. So it's like
there's some traversal involved.
A lot more traversal, a lot more travel and bigger stuff. So the ones in VR, and maybe it's just the ones I played, but the instances aren't as long because everything's kind of close to you. So you're just basically reacting in order and watching these bullets zoom around you and like punching guns out of people's hands and taking them and shooting behind your back. And you're not really focused on moving. You're just trying to like, fuck everything that's coming at you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had fun with it.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. What else did you beat?
Can you name 3 sports you hate more than baseball?
3 sports more than baseball. I guess if I had to say hate is a strong word, but I will say I strongly dislike. Man, I guess lacrosse. I don't get
You're just
that
picking
one.
on it because you don't.
I just don't get it. Probably field hockey. I feel like that's dumb as hell. Yeah. And water polo seems stupid.
Yeah, you drown the horses.
Drown them.
It's a good way to drown them.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, it is fun as shit.
Okay.
In Mario Super Sluggers.
Okay.
On the Wii. I picked that game up. Just saw it at
GameStop,
and it was relatively cheap. And I just like the Mario sports games never disappoint.
Never, ever do they disappoint.
And I've never played any. I don't know how many baseball versions there are. I think there's maybe another one on GBA. Maybe
right. Like I didn't know they existed, frankly.
Yeah. Well, these are great.
Yeah.
And they have the little Nintendo. The way that the little wrinkles where it's not it's not like a technical baseball game,
right?
Like you
it's about hitting the ball and running.
Yeah, like you play on like certain fields and there's a big bomb going through the outfield, and if you get hit while you're going for a baseball, it could like knock you out. You got to be on the lookout, or you can build up these specials where after you hit the ball, if you aim the Wiimote just right, you can shoot a turtle shell out in the outfield and hit them before they can get to your ball.
See, if they actually did this in actual baseball, I'd watch it. 162 games a year. 100% would watch it.
It's a lot. It's a lot of games.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, oh, man, so much fun. So the campaign is you're trying to recruit players for your team to take on Bowser's team. And so you have to visit all of these parks, and some characters have their own parks. So Peach's Castle has her own baseball park.
Very nice.
Donkey Kong has his own park out in the jungle, and they're all a little bit different.
Yeah.
And you have to go there and recruit them by doing little mini games, and the mini games are baseball mini games.
Okay.
So like little challenges and stuff, and
like a home run derby or something like that.
Just it's actually a clever way to infuse the tutorial.
Okay.
So it's like, we need you to do this and get a double play. And you're like, okay. Or they have clever ways to, you can save a home run by, if you have enough, I don't know what term that they use in the game, but say camaraderie between two characters, they'll have little musical symbols above their heads.
Okay.
If you place them near each other in the outfield, I guess chemistry is the word.
Yeah.
will. You can do special moves where if someone hits the ball like a home run, you get there in time, you can double jump and save it. And so like little stuff like that. And it's just,
that really feels a lot like almost like a Persona thing where you have like the S-link between two different characters and like they work together.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Fun.
But yeah, you solve those puzzles and you recruit, and it actually honestly gets a little easy after a while.
Okay.
But it's still like so much fucking fun. I enjoyed it. I beat it the same day I picked it up.
Hot.
Yeah. So my tip for that one is recruit Birdo. Birdo is a total badass. He's just a straight up Jose Canseco. You want him in your cleaner, want her, I guess, in the cleanup.
Okay.
Save me in the finals against Bowser. Two-run shot home runs in the bottom of the last inning to put me ahead. Birdo for the win.
Very nice.
Got to go Birdo. All right. What about you? What else?
I guess I went ahead and knocked down old Turf of the Hood Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's Trials of the Blood Dragon. Now, this is one of those mashups that we didn't really ask for, but, the old Trials got the Blood Dragon treatment over there at Ubisoft. And, there's really not more to be said than you guys said last time about this game. It's fun. Platforming, not good. Shooting mechanics, not good. Like, I like some of the wrinkles, like riding and shooting things before you get to them. I think that's a fun way to mix up the gameplay a little bit, where you got to shoot something before it shoots you, or to open a ramp or something like that. That's fun. But like the off-bike parts, did not care for at all.
A little slippery.
Very slippery and like not 100%. I felt like the jump command was more of like on the, what's the term, up bounce or something like that on the button, where it's like when you press the button nothing happened, but when you let go something would happen.
Oh, okay.
Debounce, that's the word I was looking for. So like I think it's probably one of those games that the idea was better than the execution in some parts.
It's sad too, because either you or Briz told me that the person who was responsible for the Blood Dragon, I believe you told me, that has left.
Yeah.
So there will probably be no more Blood Dragon mashups.
Yeah, and that's That's cool. Like, it works great for Far Cry.
It did.
It was perfect for Far Cry, and it would have been cool for this, but it just, I don't know, felt rushed maybe a little bit.
Did you, and we had talked about it last episode, I thought the voice acting was noticeably bad.
Yes. Like, having Michael Biehn back as Rex Colt was the only highlight. Like, everybody else was just shit awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, was not a fan. I did not like how the game's stories played out. Like, they were not connected really in any way. It was just like, what can we throw in here that's 80s? And they just did that.
I just like the visual theme of the game.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah, that was all I liked about it. Of course, riding on the motorcycles is the best part.
Yes.
Or the bikes or whatever.
Right. No, I agree 110%.
All right, so back to my new occasionally reoccurring segment called Trav Beating Shodies.
Oh, yeah, Trav Beating Shodies.
So,
jeez.
I was, it does sound bad.
It does. It's like a Chris Brown kind of thing.
When I don't, like, when I'm knee deep in Persona 5 or Far Cry 5 or any other 5 I can get my hands on.
Right.
Having little games on the side that I can beat and talk about here is kind of nice.
Sure.
And so I downloaded a big list of those when I played the Stanley Parable because I was like, this is kind of neat to have these in my back pocket.
Right. Also known as gaming the system.
The gaming the system a little bit. But
it's all right.
Sometimes I get tired of playing those games exclusively.
And you want to talk about something different on the show.
Indeed.
It's fodder.
Yeah. I'm absolutely gaming the system. I didn't mean to get defensive. I'm totally doing that. So anyway, Jake.
Yeah.
You've had a grinder meetup go wrong where you've woken up locked in a lunatic shed, right?
Yeah. Like twice this year.
Yeah, and it's never fun because you have to figure out how to escape, and lunatics are really good about securing their sheds.
Usually they plan for this sort of thing.
That's how this game starts out. It's called Blameless.
Oh.
It's on PC. It's free on Steam. You just download it.
Okay.
It takes, if you know what you're doing, it would take maybe 10 minutes to beat, but the game is figuring out how to do it.
Sure.
So you're locked. It's very escape room-esque. You're locked in the shed, and it's a little glitchy. It's not the most polished thing because, once again, it is a free game made by just some dude who only has 16 Twitter followers.
Damn.
Yeah. Visually pretty, but a little buggy. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, I would say, if you are me and you're kind of stupid. But you basically find tools, and you have to kind of figure out a way to put those tools together to get out of a room. And then there's some story at the end that's kind of neat.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, I think in terms of those like little short games, it's maybe a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It's kind of neat, kind of fun, kind of dark, kind of dreary. I think it might have multiple endings, actually. When I got to the end of it, I was like, oh, shit, maybe I didn't have to do that part, and then this would have been different. So that's kind of neat, little thread there.
Okay.
My tip for the game, it's a very short game. My only tip is look up.
Okay.
That's a mistake I made for a good 20 minutes.
Not looking up.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, one more from you, I think.
Yeah, I got one more, and this is one that I guess it was St. Patrick's Day. Me and our friend Mick decided to go through this one, and this was Final Fight 2 on the SNES. You seem shocked.
Spinal Fight 2.
Spinal Fight 2. Oh, snap. Sorry. Spinal Fight 2.
Like two people with like a Mortal Kombat. They rip spines out of somebody and they're sword fighting with other spines.
Gotcha. Spinal Fight.
But no,
and Spinal's also a character in Killer Instinct, so that also makes sense.
Right. So you came over to my house and beat that, yeah?
Yeah. I was wailing away on some Super Punch Out. Got a little too inebriated to focus.
That happens.
Yeah.
Punch Out's very precise.
And you gotta stick with it. So anyway, I was like, I need something I can beat, and you're like, here, do this one. This one's easy.
That's the one I get everybody on.
So Mickey and I decided to double up on that one.
And, how'd that go? I have played with another person.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was, I sort of bounced around between characters, but mostly, you play as Hagar. So
right.
Yeah.
But this guy's kind of a bitch, throwing the grenades down.
Yeah, a bit of a weasel, that one. So, but anyway, it took us maybe an hour and a half, but I had a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking for the third Final Fight because I think that one's also, I say beatable, but definitely more beatable than the first one.
First one was just
tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that one was one of those. It was originally arcade design, right? So
I believe they all were, but I think 2 and 3 were certainly ported better.
Yeah,
or with the consoles in mind.
Right, makes sense.
I could be completely wrong. No, I have no idea.
I mean, it feels right because I tried to play the first one not long ago, and it's just like, my God, I'm glad I'm not paying quarters for lives here. I'd be broke.
That's true. I never for the first one, not to get too inside baseball, but on the first one there's a level that you get to where you're fighting a guy that has like katanas and he's in a wrestling ring.
Yes.
That guy, like, I've beaten him once, but such a bitch. He's always spinning with the swords and knocking me down, and there's a trick to it. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, same.
So maybe one day.
Maybe.
All right, that takes us into the Polykillers.
Let's talk
just
about
beat it.
them Polykillers.
Just beat it. I wish Michael Jackson made other noises besides the two that we've...
Right. Little squeal and the
little squeal and the shamon. All right, so all the other Polykillers, all the other beaters, just beat it, hashtag beat it, hashtag just beat it will be in a later video, obviously, that we've been doing. Check those out.
Check them out.
On the youtube.com/Polykill podcast YouTube channel, where we play some games and read the tweets. But the Supreme Killers, the Kill Lords, the Beat Lords, the Polykillers, they make it here. And we had some ties here for 1 and 2, so we got 4 here today. Okay. I'll take it with the first one here.
Do it.
Kyle at Dopplik, who declares albinos are tender and really do have a good flavor, finished Rayman 3, Guitar Hero Tour Decades, and Mini Metro.
Ooh, I don't really recognize that last one, Mini Metro. Do you?
I think it's a Steam game, so maybe just one that's just a little shouty.
Gotcha. Beating shouty. All right, so Sean at Cartridge Bros says not even science can explain the smell of an overworked carny. Finished Last of Us, The Last of Us Left Behind, and SteamWorld Dig.
Have you played any of the SteamWorlds?
I have Heist and Dig.
You have them, but...
Yes, I have not beaten Heist.
Do you enjoy them?
It's entirely different than the first one, and that's a point that I pointed out maybe a little late to Sean, because I do think he likes Heist, but Dig is very much a gameplay loop of dig, find stuff, sell it, get better stuff, dig, and there's a definite story to it. But it's brilliant art, great music, cool character design. Heist is Robo-Pirates in space in a turn-based combat scenario. Like, it's in the same universe, but entirely different.
So these SteamWorld fellas, they're just making different genres
experiences
of
in that universe.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and then SteamWorld Dig just was released earlier this year, or maybe late last year, and it's a return to the Dig formula, but just upgraded and new. But Heist is pretty cool because it's got some neat physics that are involved in some of the combat. It's pretty cute, charming,
cool,
neat.
Good, good to know.
Yeah.
Santiago at Santiago QRG finished Metal Gear Solid, Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land, and Donkey Kong Country Returns, a game where Donkey Kong returns hungover the next day to find Diddy tripping balls and reenacting scenes from Braveheart in slow motion.
Holy shit. Why did I never play that game?
Donkey Kong Country Returns?
Yeah, why didn't I play
hard.
It? Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's very hard. So good job, Santiago. That was not an easy one.
Duke at Retro Nonsense contracted a rare strand of Maryland malaria that left him with an insatiable bloodlust for the Atari 2600, so he beat E.T., Superman, and Jungle Hunt before completing Kung Fu on the NES.
It's very rare that we get people that beat Atari 2600 games.
Much less 3.
Right, come through here, because I think in a lot of people's minds, and mine especially, is that a lot of those games don't have endings.
Right.
They're just the loop of getting a high score. So I'm interested to know what constitutes beating these. Is there actually an end screen? I'm not familiar with them because I've never played or beaten any of the Atari
E.T. I think
games.
Definitely has an ending.
Probably.
You can go home.
Yeah. Superman the same way. I mean, I imagine those 3 do. So
I don't know.
But I've not ever beaten an Atari 2600 game in my life.
I haven't either.
So good job, Duke.
Nice.
Speaking of Duke, I'm going to throw this out here because we were just talking about the guy.
Do it.
Check out Retro Nonsense YouTube channel. Check out those Stuck in the 80s videos. He's got 2 out now. They are hilarious, fun, charming, and very nostalgic.
Cool.
So please check those out. Duke has done a really good job with those.
Cool beans.
All right, let's move on into Restocking the Log. Restocking the Log.
Wow.
Now we should point out that Brian sabotaged a lot of the sheet.
Yeah, we kind of gave him free reign to do that. I don't know why.
He had done such a good job the last
he's
couple
good
weeks.
at it.
He is very good at it. He actually
too good.
He goes outside of where we're looking for,
a dick,
a fart, something like that. And he's been very good about sort of.
He comes with a butt shaft glue, like how.
Well, yeah, he throws butt in there.
Yeah,
to our dick and fart, he has a butt, and that's great.
It is. It completes the cycle,
which is why we have whining farts.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that is.
It's Shining Force.
Shining fart. Okay, Shining Force. Okay, maybe. I get it.
They're a little bit of a stretch,
loose,
but they're fun.
Very loose.
We're here to have fun.
We are here to have fun.
So that's a game that I got from the Sean lot.
Yeah.
And I had never played a Shining Force game.
Okay.
And I've always been intrigued by it. I've had people talk about it, or heard people talk about it, and really love it. If you remember from a Collect Call 5 maybe years ago, Randy, the tall guy.
Oh yeah.
Big into the Shining Force series.
I remember that.
And he sort of got me interested in it by describing it, so I'm happy to finally have the game, play a little bit of it, and I do enjoy it. It is a lot of fun.
Very
cool. Are you familiar with the game or the recipe of the game?
Very little. I think sometimes in my brain I get these convoluted with other series that sound like this or have these words in the title, so I don't think I know what this game is necessarily.
It is sort of a tactical RPG.
Well, I'm on board.
I didn't know if you even knew that about it.
I didn't. I knew it was an RPG, and I knew it was a long-running series. I did not know, or at least moderately long-running series. I didn't know what the gameplay style was.
Yeah, and that's essentially, you have this party of characters, and it's sort of built like an open-world RPG where there's a town, and you talk to the townspeople and all this other stuff. But when you're out in the main world, it's sort of set up this battle for you. So it's like the people in the town will be like, you need to go to, I don't know, I'm making up a town, but you need to go to the Alderoth Castle and talk to this guy. And you're like, all right, so you leave the town, and then immediately the game has set up some obstacles for you to overcome to get to that town. So you got to all right, I need you to go over here and fight this guy, and you go fight this guy, and since you're an archer, I need you to go over here and be in the trees. And so it's fun. It's kind of fun.
Now, what systems are these playable on?
For sure the Genesis, because that's what I'm playing it on. I don't know if it got ported anywhere else. I don't think it did.
Gotcha.
But I believe there are... there might even be a Sega CD and a Sega Saturn.
For some reason, I was thinking it ended up on Dreamcast at some point, too, but I could be wrong about that.
Maybe. I really don't know. I know there's Shining Force, Shining in the Darkness, and I think there's some other Shining Force sequels that were all in the Sega lineage.
Gotcha.
I just don't know how far.
Fair enough.
But this is a great podcast game for me because... and I sort of treated Chrono Trigger this way, even though Chrono Trigger had a great soundtrack. After 25 hours of it, I sort of was like, okay, and just put the earphones in, and I can listen to some podcasts and play the game. And this game's perfect for that.
Okay.
So it's sort of my
little grindy.
I like having those kind of there because I get behind on some podcasts, and I'm like, what can I do? I've already cleaned the litter box. I've already unloaded the dishwasher. Oh, let's play Shining Force for 2 hours. And
listen to a cast.
Soak it in.
There you go.
So there's Shining Force for you. Now, you've not added anything to your backlog because, once again, you've not beaten anything. Or not. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out on that. You've not bought anything. That's what I meant to say. Not bought anything.
Yeah.
Although you do have Game Pass, so there's an opportunity.
Right. And there might be... I did download Portal Knights from the old Game Pass. I played the demo of that and kind of enjoyed the formula. It's sort of a somewhat generic version of Dragon Quest Builders, but it's an RPG with classes, but it's like in these randomly generated Minecraft-esque worlds where you have very specific goals that you have to complete before you move on to the next randomly generated world. So it's a very purpose oriented game. Little too cute for me in general. But it could be a good mindless thing to try. But I wouldn't consider it, actually in the backlog because I just downloaded it because it was there and I was like, I'll play it for a minute, and I did, and that was about it.
You're not committing to is what you're saying.
Not at all.
If you're a purpose-oriented person, as this game is that he just spoke about, check out Cowtech. This episode is sponsored by Cowden Technologies, LLC. Cowtech focuses on product development in robotics, web apps, mobile apps, home automation, or some combination of the above. To learn more or to start a conversation about your future product or idea, please send an email to info@cowden.tech. That is info@cowden.tech, and head on over to cowden.tech and see what's going on.
Do it.
All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Polykill podcast for anybody that's still left over there.
Yeah.
Big exodus.
Large exodus.
People are just leaving Facebook. But don't leave us too far behind, because you can also catch us on cartridgeclub.org. It's where we're there to hang out with all of our friends. Drop us a line, give us some feedback about our latest show, or comment on anybody else's shows there in the Cartridge Club. Head over to polykill.com. That's where you can find all our stuff, written blogs, any videos that we've done, or any podcasts that we've done. Everything is updated within about 2 weeks of release.
Yep.
Just want to point that out.
No, we're great at that.
Drop us a line at polykillpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify. Please rate us on iTunes or whatever service you use. It's very important. And check out youtube.com/Polykill podcast for all of our pickup videos, any goofy videos that we do, any videos that we plan to do, and the podcast itself. All right, that takes us into what we're calling the foreplay, because the games that we're playing before we beat them.
Yes.
And we're grinding on them while we're playing them.
Yes.
I got to throw grind in
all
there
the thrust. Yeah. It's a grind.
I lost that war. Foreplay won out among our group, but I still think we're grinding. And got to throw it in there.
Kind of get what you got to do. So what you have foreplaying on there, friend?
Do you want to just go ahead and start with P Disease?
Let's start with P Disease.
Okay. If there was a game called P Disease, what would it be?
That's probably like what would the game be about? What would be the play? It would have to be VR.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the controllers would be your dick, and you'd have to piss on things.
Can I cut you off right now? Okay. Sea of Thieves. We're going to move. Sea of Thieves is the game that we're going to be talking about. P Disease, Sea of Thieves, of course. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
P Disease. Brian and I talked about it last time. Haven't got your thoughts on it.
Right.
What do you think about this game? We're about a month in now.
Yeah.
Right?
I honestly haven't gotten to play it as much as I want. I've the first week of release is really pretty much all I've played of it. I haven't played it in a while. It's definitely one of those games, and this is probably beating the dead horse. Mm-hmm. But you need to play it with friends. You need to have It's a game that doesn't give you a lot of goals in terms of like overall. So it's one of those games you have to go in knowing what you want to get accomplished and then do that, and then you'll feel good about your gameplay time. If you go in just looking like bumbling around, you're not going to have a good time because you're just going to sail around, shoot at things, hop on islands. It's not going to be great. But if you go in saying, I want to, knock out this many contracts today, or I want to upgrade, get enough money to buy this shirt or whatever. If you kind of go at it like that and create your own goals, I think it's much better than not.
Right.
I like the gameplay. I wish the game was a little harder.
It feels like it does get that way.
Yeah.
Like the further you get in. Yeah.
So and that's just a complaint about where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty. I like the music. I like the charm of it. Like, it's definitely very charming. It feels very
rare.
It doesn't take itself overly seriously. And I like that. I definitely think it needs more content. It needs more tweaks. And I think they're listening and they're already shifting some priorities over there at Rare to make these complaints go away, including additional content. So I think it's one of those games that launched maybe a little too early.
Yeah, if you didn't get it on Game Pass, what price sticker would you put on this game on a shelf?
$30.
$30? Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. Yeah. It's a game that's it makes me say contradictory things like, oh, I have a lot of fun with it, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
It's like I have so much fun playing it, but it's not that great, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a sandbox, but you kind of have to make your own toys to play with in the sandbox or something. I don't know. There's some analogy there. But
Brian's analogy was really good when we talked about his kids. He's like, I tell my kids to go out in the yard and play. There's a swing set out there and a slide, and I say they're only fun if you make them fun. And it's sort of like this game. It's a playground.
True.
It's only fun if you're willing to...
Yeah, put the work in to make it fun.
Yeah, exactly, which is kind of a downer, but at the same time, it's sort of... it's made me approach the game in a few different ways.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't like being attacked all the time, but,
right.
One thing that we'll do, and I think everybody... I won't say everybody, but a lot of people do. It's like, okay, we've offloaded all of our loot.
Let's go hunt down somebody.
Well, it's like we've offloaded all of our loot. We said we'd play till midnight. It's 11:40. There's a ship. We don't have enough time to go do a quest, but we could fuck them up for a little while.
Exactly.
And that's fun.
Go harass them.
Go give them a little harassment.
Yes.
And it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
Like there was one night that Brian and I were duo playing on a sloop, and we encountered this other ship, and it was a galleon, and it was just two of us, and I think there was at least three of them on a galleon, and we just go round and round with this other ship, shooting cannonballs, changing directions. A storm comes up. Like, it was fun because it was like, I was shooting and not hitting every shot, but doing pretty well, and then he was like steering, and he would run down and patch up and bail out the water, and I'd hop behind the helm real quick and steer us where we need to go. Then he'd come back up and take over the helm, and I'd go grab the cannon and reload and shoot. Like, it was engaging in a way that, that type of PvP stuff isn't normally, because you've got all this management stuff on the side that you kind of got to deal with. Where, a lot of PvP is just shoot until you're dead.
Yeah, there's not a lot of active helping.
Right.
It's just help you up if you go down, and then I'm going to go back into my own cover and
right. And like, there's not that role shift that happens in this. Mm-hmm. Where this, it's like, all right, who's gunner, who's shooting, who's steering, who's looking out, who's patching up the ship, whatever. So I like that aspect a lot of the game. Yeah,
no, I agree with you 100%. And with, like everybody else is saying, I guess we'll just wait for it to get a little better. I'm a little bummed that we're sort of in that, I don't know if it's a phase of gaming where you can just release a game a little bit bare bones and just add to it over time because they
Yeah.
want you. That's how they get you to stay, is by dropping it and then promising more stuff. It's like, look how we've had a player base for a year, but it's like, well, the first 6 months of it, there was
like
it was a
that's
bit of a struggle.
That's a whole like. Not trying to tell you to stop talking about this, but that's literally a whole podcast or series of shows. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that conundrum that we're kind of in is just, you see these people that launch something that's fairly well scaled back just to get it on the market, and then the promise of more things to come. One of which example that comes to mind is Lawbreakers by Cliffy B and his Boss Key studio. They launched that thing with 4 maps and 4 different characters or something like that. Very scaled back, probably a little more than that, but after less than a year, they've already basically shut it down.
Yeah, they just recently had that Come to Jesus.
So it's like that doesn't always work, guys.
That's right. All right, so we've talked about Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm, we have.
I've been plugging along on what Brian has sabotaged as Diploma Strive.
That's super phonetic.
Yeah, I think the issue with Persona 5 is that there's not a good way to have fun with that word more than 12 times.
Right.
And
we've done that for a while.
Yeah. But I just got to 90 hours, and I'm on the last palace, and it's starting to wrap up.
My dude.
Feeling pretty good.
That's
I think,
awesome.
I don't want to declare anything, but maybe the next time we meet on this podcast, I might have it wrapped up.
Get out of my dick.
I think so. I think I'll finally be able to let the PS4 go back to Brian and play this, really take advantage of Game Pass for once.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I've dabbled, I guess, a little bit in PUBG. I haven't played a lot of it. They've dropped a couple of patches since I've talked about it last, and it's definitely improving. I definitely want to get back in there and play some more with squads because I think that game experience is a lot better with a group of people. But still, solo is a lot of fun. The other thing that I've been playing is Fortnite.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Fortnite.
Yes.
Now, this is the Battle Royale version, not the Save the World version. Fortnite's such a funny thing for me because I got excited about Fortnite 7 years ago. When Epic was like, we're going to make this base building, wave-based, save the world game where you play as these kind of quirky characters in different classes and you hold off wave of monsters at night and go fix your fort during the day. I'm like, this sounds like a lot of fun. Like 7 years ago, this was a kind of a novel concept. Follow the development, get the emails, get invites to the betas, and then finally launches. And it's still kind of early access, even though they're charging like full price for it. It's still kind of early access. And get in there, and it does okay. And then they're like, I know, we'll just copy PUBG. And then it's the number 1 game in the world. It's such a strange ride.
So has it overcome PUBG at this point?
Yes. I think it's probably because of a couple of things. One is it definitely appeals to a younger audience.
And why is that?
It's more colorful. The character design is a little more whimsical. It's more arcadey in terms of like feel.
It seems as though
it doesn't take itself quite as seriously as PUBG does.
Based on what I see from the cover, it looks like there are characters and they have some personality. Maybe
they're not characters.
They're not characters.
There are some like recognizable models that you kind of rotate through unless you have like a skin.
Okay.
But there's no like named personalities. Okay. At least not in the battle royale mode. But there's some really fun parts of that game that I like. They've got like daily and weekly challenges where you have to like, you get experience and credits for like doing certain things in a certain time span. PUBG does not do that. So it kind of gives a little bit more purpose to playing the game.
Now, both of these games are not final.
Both of these games are completely not final. I think the Battle Royale mode for Fortnite is probably in much better shape than PUBG is, frankly. Runs better, behaves better. It's kind of nice
to have these, what are now becoming behemoth in terms of player base.
Yeah.
Games sort of racing to the finish line.
They are, and like they're doing, because PUBG basically for a long time, it's had one map, and it's had 3 gameplay modes, which is literally the same thing, but it's either solo, squad, or duo, and that's it. But now that Fortnite's doing all these like event things, they're like, we're going to put extra explosives in the game for a weekend, or everybody can just play with sniper rifles for a few days, or something like that.
Of course, the base building is also a wrinkle.
Right. And that's another fun aspect. But now PUBG is like, okay, we need to do these events too. So like they just did one called Tequila Sunrise where it's just shotguns. So makes the combat much closer and more lethal. And, that's funny seeing PUBG now copy Fortnite, who is a complete copy of PUBG. So
that is interesting.
It's really fun to watch.
But it is, I guess, good for gamers. You're going to get all these fresh ideas coming out because everybody wants to be relevant.
Yeah. It's like Fortnite did this 50 versus 50. 2 teams of 50 going at it, or 4 teams of 25. Really cool idea. Yeah, absolute chaos. It's a joy.
That's fun. Real quick though, didn't one of these? I guess it was it Fortnite that has a mobile component now, or is it PUBG? Both do. How are those? Have you played either?
I've played the mobile PUBG. Fortnite's not on Android yet. It's only on iOS. It's okay. I won't play it there much for sure.
But it runs good.
But it runs great.
Cool.
It's interesting.
Another game that I've been plugging along on with our friend Mickey from Count Technologies LLC. Mm-hmm. Mega Man 6. It's X. It's just X. But 6 was written on the sheet, as we do. So Mega Man X.
Yeah.
Play a little more of it. We got to, for those of you who have played the game, once again, a little inside baseball here, but after you beat the initial set of bosses, and then that's when Mega Man opens up and it's like, all right, now we're going to put you through a gauntlet. And there is a spider, I guess it's a boss.
I watched you guys do that.
Drops down really fast. He's tough to dodge. I don't know a good strat for him. I don't really know what works on him.
There seems to be no predictability to its movement.
Yeah, you think there is. You kind of see what
your brain makes sense of it. Yeah,
and it doesn't work out. And it's frustrating to get back to that guy because he's pretty far along. So that's where we got stuck. So, but that's probably a little over halfway.
So send your tips to @Polykill on Twitter.
Yeah, please do. Because that was a very frustrating part of the game. But Mega Man X, from what I hear, is the best of the Mega Man X trilogy.
Okay.
And so that's cool. 2 and 3 are a little expensive if you want to get the real copies, so I'm happy just playing X. But
nice.
Having fun with it.
I like the animation.
It's a pretty game.
Very nice.
Looks great on the PVM, too.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Does that take us into the disc?
Yeah.
All right. It is time for Spring Cleaning Madness.
Spring Cleaning 2064.
Let's clean off the log, as you should do at least once a week.
Let's
polish
scrub
the
it
log.
down. Yeah,
that's right. So I'm looking at your bracket. Hopefully, you're looking at my bracket.
I'm doing that.
And we have 3 brackets each.
Yes.
8 games in each bracket. And what we're going to do, in case you weren't here last time for this was a lot of fun. Basically, we have a lot of games festering on our backlogs.
Festering, stinking.
And a lot of times they're games that we don't want to come to terms with losing.
Right.
It's sort of that thing where it's like you don't know what decision you want to make until someone flips the coin, and then you know.
Yes.
That's what this sort of becomes. It's
exactly.
like how we need to get some of these off the backlog. If they're just going to sit and we're not going to actually play them. Well, let's go through here and determine which ones we'd rather keep.
Yes.
So the way this works, this is kind of an inverse bracket, whereas the winner is actually the game we don't want to play.
Correct. We are moving the
loser
through the bracket.
So let's get started here. Let's start with we have 3 brackets each. Jake has a Mario bracket, a Luigi bracket, and a Peach bracket.
And Trav has a Toad bracket, a Bowser bracket, and a Iggy bracket.
That's right. So let's start with Jake's Mario bracket.
All right. The first matchup.
First matchup. Jake, which one would you rather keep on your backlog between Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice or Splatoon 2?
I would rather keep Hellblade.
Okay, can you?
I'll elaborate a little bit. One, I do like Splatoon a lot. I don't like it as much as I thought I would. Maybe I still really like it, but the intrigue of what happens in Senua's Sacrifice is more appealing to me at this point in my gaming life. Something a little more grown up, a little more mature, a little more.
It's a very heavy metal game.
Yeah.
It's perfect for you. I'm surprised you've not played through it yet.
Yeah.
It's not very long.
Yeah, I know.
It's maybe 6 hours tops.
I know.
All right, next matchup here.
Oh.
Halo Spartan Assault versus Prey.
Of the two, kick that Spartan Assault out of there.
Kicking it out.
Kick it out. I tried so often to get through that game, and it was going to be kind of my podcast game. I was going to be like, this is mindless. I'll just sit and listen to music or a podcast while playing the game. But I did that a couple of times, and it just started to feel like more of a waste of time than anything. I'm like, I don't care about this. So this is a good one to advance.
Now, is Halo Spartan Assault, is that on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's always going to be around.
It's always going to be around. Like if I want to come back to it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm just yeah, felt like I'm wasting time more than I should be.
Fair enough. All right. Here's a behemoth matchup here.
Here we go.
This is like a good old 2008 Kansas versus Memphis, if you keep up with college basketball at all.
Not 10 years ago.
That was a Mario Chalmers versus Derrick Rose finals, let me go ahead and tell you.
Wow.
Very good matchup. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild versus Fallout 4.
Oh. I mean, Fallout 4 would have to go of those two.
Okay. Now, you've played a big...
Yeah.
Splotch, I don't know.
Played a big splack.
He played a splack age.
Yeah. I probably played more of a splack Fallout 4. I put about 40-ish hours into it.
Wow. So you got to be near the end.
No.
Okay.
I've just dicked around.
Well, that's what, isn't Breath of the Wild just a dick around generator?
Yeah.
I mean, both games are.
They are.
All right. Well, let's go to your final matchup in this bracket, final first round matchup. Battle Chasers Night War versus Dishonored 2. Now, these are games that I feel are they're not on the tip of your tongue. You don't talk about either of these ever.
I don't. Of the two, I would say Dishonored 2 would go.
Really?
Mainly because I'm really excited about Battle Chasers, which finally has a release date for Switch, which is in May.
So this is on your backlog. It's not even.
Like I anticipated getting this game in January, but technical reasons it got pushed.
Okay,
5 months. So, yeah,
weird that it's even in the tournament. Its bus isn't even in the parking lot.
It's not even here.
It didn't even show up.
They did not leave the station.
And it won.
It won.
Good job. All right, so semifinals here. Yeah, semifinals. Splatoon 2 versus Halo Spartan Assault.
Spartan
Who stays,
Assault.
who goes? Spartan Assault's going to
leaves.
Going to
Advances.
Lose. So you're thinking you're going to play a little Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not as familiar with Splatoon because I never owned one. I don't have one to Switch. Is there a campaign mode?
There is.
Okay.
And they're actually getting ready to make a bigger, more expansive version of that, too. They're getting ready to drop more single-player content.
Now, are you interested in the multiplayer at all?
I definitely am, and I've played it a bit.
Fair enough.
It's very fun, but I'm not good at it at all.
All right. Well, let's see who Halo Spartan Assault's going to take on in the finals.
Okay.
Fallout 4 versus Dishonored 2. Two Bethesda sequels.
Yeah.
Two decent games.
Yeah.
Really good games. What do you think's going to happen here?
I'll say move Fallout 4 forward.
Really?
Yeah.
You're low on Fallout 4.
I am, and it's weird because like every time I hear Brian talk about playing it in VR, I kind of get the itch to play it. But of these matchups,
honestly, it even in VR, as much as I loved being in that world and doing the things in it, that game still feels dated to me. And of course, it was a little dated when it came out,
right? Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, it's definitely, and I've said it before, it's Fallout 3.5 to me.
A little bit,
yeah.
No, I love the game, but I get why certain people, I'm not usually. I'm not going to pick on Bethesda for their it's never been their strong point is their graphics and visuals, but that one was surprisingly lackluster for this generation.
Yeah, I was like, what
comparing it to Witcher, you're like, are these even on the same platform?
Exactly.
All right, so the finals here in the Mario bracket here we have, and I think I might know the way this is going to go, but we'll see. Halo Spartan Assault versus Fallout 4. Yeah. Who is gone forever?
Who's gone forever is Halo Spartan Assault.
Halo Spartan Assault is gone. Do you have any final words for Halo Spartan Assault as it goes off into the horizon?
You needed more personality.
Oh wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, like that's my biggest critique of the game. Like it was not designed to be a console game, and that's fine. It was actually a tablet game, so I get why it's scaled back. But for what draws me to Halo games is the lore, the world, the universe, the characters, and this just had none of that. So like there was zero buy-in for me to just run around. Even though I love twin stick shooters as much as I do, this one was just too spread out, and I didn't like that. I like claustrophobic twin stick shooters where there's shit everywhere. Right. And this one you just ran for a while and then you saw something and you shot it. It's just boring.
How long does it take to beat? I don't think it's a long game, right?
Longer than I thought, because that was my plan, was to just download this thing. It's like a $5 game, full retail price, and I was like, let me just run through this thing. But there's like 30 chapters to it, I think.
Jeez.
So I was like, this is way too much than I want to put into it.
About 5 hours, it says.
It's still more than I want to put into it.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Do me.
Okay. So this is your Toad bracket. So our first matchup is a game formerly called Jizz Forced in My Eye, Jet Force Gemini versus Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Yeah, dude.
This is crazy because one's a rare retro masterpiece, and the other is a Legend of Zelda game, which, to be fair, is not as well loved as some others in the series.
It's not, and I think it was because it was required you to be active with your nunchucks. I played a little bit of it and didn't like it, and the reason that I've kept it on the backlog is because
it's a Zelda game and you feel like a failure. If you
well,
don't
that's
play
one.
It.
That should have been the first reason I thought of. The second one is because I got it for a super deal at Best Buy by sort of cheating the system. Is that they had the wrong SKU on it and they had it for like $20, and it should never be that cheap,
right?
Because it's a first-party Nintendo game,
right? And
it had just come out, and it's never been that cheap, and it never will be again. So
you feel some obligation to cash in on that.
I should play it, but
how's this going to go?
Just forced in my eye, which never gets old. That's elite sabotage.
It's a good one.
Jet Force Gemini. I wasn't having fun with the N64, but I think it's a game that would be better played on a rare replay.
There you
go. This is tough, but I think I'm going to keep Skyward Sword in there.
Skyward Sword is winning out
because I think one day, and this is one of those just hopeless dreams, is that I will one day beat all the Zelda games.
Okay,
and so
that's a good goal.
I got to keep it.
It's a good goal. All right, next matchup: PS2 classic, Vanillaware, lovely art, Odin Sphere versus Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Okay, this is going to be an easy one.
Easy one for you. Okay, who's getting kicked to the curb?
I think I'm going to move Odin Sphere to the next round.
Odin Sphere is advancing.
Now, nothing against Odin Sphere, but Before the Storm is a game I'm desperately looking toward playing.
Okay.
In the very near future, once Persona 5 is wrapped up, that's a game I've just had waiting for me.
Now, we're big fans of Life is Strange here at the Polykill podcast, so I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
No surprise. Now, Odin Sphere was a Cartridge Club Game of the Month here very recently.
It was, and I remember people lauded it.
Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah, I had some issues with it, but I think I'm just early on and not good at it. It's a game I could see eventually liking.
Skill helps.
But yeah.
All right, so here's one that here's a couple that you've not talked about in ages now. One of these you got very early on in your Xbox One career, and the other one was purchased for you as a reward for helping someone mount a television. The reward for the television mount is Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Now, this is one you were trying to co-op the campaign.
Try-op it, even with 3 dudes.
With 3 dudes, Menage a Bro. And the other is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which you have lots of AC burnout. Has that subsided enough for you to advance it? Or keep it?
Truthfully, it's been reignited a bit by Sea of Thieves, because I'm like, I want to play a pirate game where my decisions matter.
Okay.
It's harsh towards Sea of Thieves,
but
truthfully, I want to be...
You want to be in control.
I want there to be some more consequence, some world around it. I feel like if I were to ever play this Black Ops 3 again, I'd have to start it over. It's been too long.
Fair.
And
it's very twitchy. You got to get back in that muscle memory thing.
Yeah. And I could see that being one that maybe Josh and I revisit, because occasionally we'll go through a game together, and
sure.
I think Chad's probably lost interest in it, but maybe not. So this is tough.
Is it? Are you sure it's tough? Because I feel like it's not tough yet.
Barely holding. I actually have already forgotten the game that's not Black Ops 3. What was it?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, right. So
Black Flag.
Whatever. But that's it's Black Ops versus Black Flag.
Correct.
Let's move Black Ops down.
Black Ops is advancing.
Yeah, let's advance it on.
Okay. All right. So the next matchup is Mega Bomberman versus Dragon Age Inquisition. And this is interesting because you love Bomberman, and you're also coming off of a 90-hour RPG, which Dragon Age Inquisition easily is. So how's this going to go down?
I straight up don't think I like Inquisition.
Okay.
I think I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch. It's just a little too big for me.
A little too big.
I think it's too big.
Too big.
Like you said, right now, it's certainly not something I want to jump into.
Okay.
And I'm at the final stage of Mega Bomberman, so let's just wrap that up,
Okay. Fine. All right, so Dragon Age is advancing. All right, next match up is Jet Force Gemini versus Odin Sphere. Who goes? Who stays?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I see myself playing Odin Sphere before I get back into Just Forced in my eye.
Okay.
Because that stings.
It does.
No. But seriously.
Okay.
I think I'll send Jet Force down.
So Jet Force is moving on.
I'll keep Odin. Odin's just one of those delightful,
It's a bit timeless, too.
Yeah, and it's
design-wise.
it's such a unique thing. Yeah.
Jet Force Gemini does not age well, at least on original hardware.
Certainly doesn't.
All right. Black Ops 3 versus Dragon Age Inquisition.
Drop Inquisition down.
Inquisition advancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see myself ever putting
coming
in the
back
time
to it.
required for it. No.
Fair enough. All right. So, face off.
All right, here we go.
Jet Force Gemini, Dragon Age Inquisition. Who's going? Who's staying?
You know, I could see myself getting through Jet Force in some way or another. I don't see myself ever finishing Inquisition. Even if I tried, it's going to be one of those that's just going to fester for years on this podcast.
Years.
Kill it.
Kill it.
I'm done.
It's dead.
Yep.
All right. So, off the log is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yep. My parting shot to that game would be, you're too much. You're too much for me.
Okay.
I didn't think anything I did really mattered all that much.
See, and this is once again, now this is something I brought up before. I'll bring it up again. This is a pre-Witcher 3 RPG. It's crazy how much things changed after that game.
Yeah.
So just design-wise, anything before that RPG is going to feel dated if it's sort of that Western open world style.
Mm-hmm. Also, I liked my character because I made myself like a 7-foot-tall dark elf woman. And really unique.
Sounds awesome.
Because I just hit random and was like, "Oh, dig this."
Yeah.
And it made a lot of the conversation pieces really interesting.
I bet.
Because it was weird. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm glad to see that gone.
All right.
All right, we're moving on to Jake's Luigi bracket.
Oh, hey.
Jake, let's move it along here.
Let's do it.
A game that I'm not even really sure what it is.
Okay.
Against maybe one of the greatest games, one of the greatest RPGs, in my opinion, ever made.
Oh God.
Observer.
Observer
versus Persona 5.
Okay.
I think it's going to be an easy one.
This is an easy one. Observer will advance. Now, it's one that I haven't even played yet, but if I have to pick between these, I'm keeping Persona 5 for sure.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Here are, oh man, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I told you my brackets were shit. Like difficult shit is what I mean.
You've gushed a lot about these games.
Okay, yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Dick. Of the two, I would say Fire Emblem would advance, mainly just because I haven't gotten as far into that, and it didn't hook me initially like Horizon did.
Now, is Fire Emblem Warriors like the Hyrule Warriors? Is that the recipe that we're dealing with here? Okay.
Yes. It does include a little more Fire Emblem-ness than I thought it would in terms of strategy, piecing together your team, that sort of thing. So that hooks me.
Okay.
But it's not the classic tactical stuff.
Oh man, this is a good one here too. I'm loving your matchups.
Yeah,
these are great.
It's so bad.
Cuphead against maybe one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah.
In terms of pervasiveness, anyway.
Okay.
Skyrim.
God damn it. Yeah. I mean, Cuphead will go of those two. Just patience trying in terms of that.
And you can't go your life without beating Skyrim.
Right. I have to. I own it on 3 different platforms.
Only 3?
4 different platforms.
Only 4?
Only 4.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I need to beat that game.
Okay.
My plan is, and I think I've mentioned this before, is to just play the vanilla Skyrim on the Switch and just put my nose down and just play through the story.
Honestly, the story wouldn't take long.
I know, and that's kind of what I want to do, is just like, I'm going to beat the story.
Maybe 10 to 14 hours if you really just buckle down, but you're going to get distracted.
I know I'm going to get distracted. But like no mods, no DLC, just,
Pump it. Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Uh-huh.
Resident Evil Revelations.
Right now, I'm definitely leaning toward advancing Resident Evil Revelations, just because I really do like Kingdom Come's formula.
Have you played that in a while?
It's been a minute. They're getting ready to drop a massive patch that fixes over like 200 bugs. So
that's a lot of bugs.
I'm going to wait for that.
All right. Welcome to the semifinals.
Here we go.
We have Observer, a game that you have yet to play. And Fire Emblem Warriors, a game that you've not played in a long time.
Yeah. I will advance Fire Emblem.
Ooh. I didn't see that coming.
Didn't you?
But I guess you really want to get in there and try Observer before you take it off the backlog, huh?
I really haven't even touched it.
Refresh me. What is Observer?
It's a game that I actually bought with the intention of bro-opping. It is a...
Is it the cyberpunk game?
It's like a cyberpunk neo-noir. Well, yeah, neo-noir. Private eye weird shit game.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. I'm into it. Rutger Hauer's in it too, so that makes me happy.
Cuphead against Res Evil Revelations.
Man, this final is going to suck. Cuphead Advance.
Ooh, that makes me sad. Now I loved Cuphead.
I know you did. It's definitely more your game than mine.
Certainly.
Style-wise.
Yeah. Well, we'll say, knocking a game off the log just means you can't add it back for 1 year. Is
that what we're doing?
Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Nothing's forever.
No, I mean, certainly, and I never anticipated any of this was forever. So
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to sell this.
Of course
games.
not.
Yeah.
1 year. Then you can't bitch about it for a year.
Okay.
Fire Emblem Warriors, here we go in the finals. Fire Emblem Warriors
yeah.
coming in, limping, hurt by you.
Hurt.
Against Cuphead, who's looking at you like, come on, dude. I'm one of the greatest games released this year. I'm saying a lot of one of the greatest.
You are,
for all
and
your
that's
shit.
because I just don't buy shit games.
Guilting the shit out of you right now.
Of the two, Cuphead will go.
Oh.
Cuphead will go.
I'm floored.
Don't be floored.
I'm floored. I'm okay. I'll deal with it.
I just love my Switch, and I love Fire Emblem.
Is Cuphead not coming to Switch?
No, it never will. It's 100% exclusive
That's sad.
to Microsoft platforms. Yep.
Be a fun little time on the
Be
Switch.
great.
All right.
Hopefully, the success of this one will allow them to open their doors.
I mean, what are you saying to Cuphead as it walks out? It's crying.
Cuphead, I love you. I love your charm. I love your style, but you're too much. You're too difficult. Too difficult to work with, and I'm just running low on patience, and I need to feel powerful in my life a little bit.
Fair enough.
So getting beaten down just sucks.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Do me.
Do you? All right. So we are moving on to Trav's Bowser bracket.
Sounds like it's going to be tough, but it might not be.
It might not be. We'll see. So first matchup is Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward versus a game that I think you're actually pretty excited to play, which is Batman Enemy Within, the Telltale.
Yeah, I'm excited to play both of these, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so how's this going to fall?
I definitely, if you told me that I could never play another one, I'd be most sad about Batman, because I liked the first one a lot.
Okay.
And I want to see where that story goes.
So we're moving Zero Escape forward.
I think so. I don't know if the Nonary games connect that much. I don't know if, not, you know what I mean? I don't know
Sure.
that
I know what you mean.
carry over. So I'd be okay with it, but I do want to play it.
Okay. All right. Next one. Now, I don't even know what the fuck this is, but Life Force
It's an NES shoot 'em up, baby.
versus Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Oh, wow. Okay. Definitely going to be Life Force. The game is a hard
Hard as balls?
hard game that it's a personal challenge to myself to beat.
Okay.
But I Konami code it and get close to the end, but it's tough, man.
Damn son.
Tough. It's tough.
All right. Next matchup. Now, this one is a mammoth game that I raved about on this podcast. I think Kyle loves this game. I think JD loves this game. So this is something that you need to play, I feel.
Okay, because Kyle and JD said so.
Yeah, and me.
Okay, of course you.
Titanfall 2
Oh, yeah.
versus a game that you played on your Game Boy Advance and got a little tired of the dialogue, Golden Sun.
Yeah. I think I was trying to get rid of Golden Sun last year around this time.
I think you were.
But it lost out to a shittier game.
Yeah.
Kick Golden Sun down.
Kick Golden Sun down.
Titanfall 2, I cannot wait to play that.
I can't wait for you to play it either. My friend Brad actually just played through it the other day. Loved it.
There's 4 people on Earth that
All right. Here we go. Now, this is another game that you get stuck on your DS.
Not
you
surprising.
do this a lot. Versus another classic Rare N64 game. This is Perfect Dark versus Advance Wars.
Yeah, Advance Wars on the GBA.
GBA, okay.
But
Sorry,
I was playing it on DS. You're not going to
okay.
tell me.
All right.
Advance Wars versus Perfect Dark. Damn, I am stuck as shit on Advance Wars.
Okay.
Like I might have met my
You might have
match.
painted yourself into a corner.
Perfect Dark's a game I feel like I gotta beat.
It's very beatable.
It's a very beatable game. And I was bro-upping it with Brian years ago. We stopped short of finishing it. I think I'm going to keep Perfect Dark.
Okay.
And-
Advance Wars advances.
Yeah, I'm going to see if Advance Wars can defend itself from whatever's next.
Okay. Semifinals.
Okay.
First matchup. Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward versus Life Force.
Yeah, I'm keeping them Nonary games.
So Life Force advances to the finals.
Yeah, I'm like you with Cuphead on this one. I'm getting tired of getting beat by that game.
Fair enough. All right. Other semifinal match. Golden Sun versus Advance Wars.
Advance Wars is staying all
Advance
day.
Wars is staying.
Golden Sun
can fuck
Get out
right
of here.
off.
Get out of
All
here.
right. Final matchup.
All right.
Life Force versus Golden Sun.
I'm excited that I don't have to play Golden Sun again, or think about it, or have it weigh on me.
Okay.
Get out of here, you dialogue riddled, confusing ass battle system, fucking stupid game. I hate you. Go away.
All right.
I don't want to play you or your sequels. I don't even want you in my collection anymore. If you want Golden Sun, you email me. I'll sell it to you. I don't know the price just now. I have to look it up, but it's probably going to be 5% more than you can get it on eBay because I'm not really convinced that I do want to get rid of it. But maybe I will.
Throw money at him. We'll see what happens.
We'll talk.
All right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do me.
All right. Jake's peach bracket is up.
That sounds dirty. Okay. I don't know why.
Well, here it is.
Okay.
Some Switch action here.
Switch action.
All right.
Okay.
Blaster Master Zero. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Fuck. Of those two, man, that's tough.
I thought you were cruising along on Rabbids.
I was also doing decent on Blaster Master.
Mm-hmm.
I got to keep Mario Rabbids.
Yeah.
Gotta.
Okay.
I just think that one has a little more charm, and it's got that gameplay style that I just love so much.
I understand. Yeah, I think I could see you keeping the Mario Rabbids. It's just yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, a sequel to one that we've already talked about,
and
a game I miss you talking about.
Oh shit!
Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Okay.
Against Far Cry Primal.
Shit. I have not played Far Cry Primal in
2 years easily.
Maybe 3.
Longer than we've done the podcast somehow. No, but yeah, it's been ages. I really did like that game. I tell you what, I will keep Far Cry Primal. Okay.
And we will advance the other game, which I've already forgotten. Okay, yeah. That makes that decision a little easier.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up, Shadow of War.
Oh, yeah.
Valkyria Chronicles Remastered.
Fuck my bum.
Now, that's a tactical strat, right?
Yeah, it is a tactical strat, and this is one that I got on PS4 not terribly long ago.
I think I have this on PSP. Or Chronicles.
There is one of them.
Yeah, I don't know
it's in that series. Chronicles was the original, and man, I just love everything about the way that game looks, and I've heard nothing but great things. I'm going to keep that one.
Okay.
Shadow of War will advance, and it's interesting. It's probably I won't bring it up. It's fine. I was going to say Shadow of War just kicked all their microtransactions to the curb.
They did.
They killed them all.
Okay. Well, that's
cool. It's a cool move. A little late, but that's cool.
Here's another game that I was intrigued by, and I'd sort of forgotten until I saw it pop up on your bracket here, and that's Mafia 3 against a game that has an immaculate soundtrack, which is Pyre.
Pyre, yeah. Of the two, I'm keeping Pyre.
Got to keep Pyre. A little more beatable.
It's more beatable. It's more my style. Mafia 3 it's so big, and I think I've realized something about myself is that I just don't like GTA style games anymore.
Really?
I just don't think I do.
You like to be a little more directed.
I like a little more boxed in.
Okay.
And this is just way too much.
You got some big ones coming up here in the semis.
I know.
You got Blaster Master Zero versus Res Evil Revelations 2. I'm sorry. I think I know the way this one's going to go, though.
You got to keep Blaster Master.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's beatable.
I get to type Res Evil Rev 2 because I'm
You could just
lazy.
Copy one cell to the other, but that's fine.
No, I'm faster typing. Shadow of War versus Mafia 3.
Mafia 3 advances.
Really? Okay.
Like to the loser bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that part.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to see the way this one's going to go. Res Evil Revelations 2 against Mafia 3 here in the finals. Get out of my life. Who's it going to be?
As much as I love the soundtrack and the setting and the idea,
there we go.
Mafia 3 was just didn't hook me as much as I was hoping.
Wow.
So
that's a surprise.
That was going to bite the dust.
You threw me for a loop. There. I really thought.
Yeah.
I really thought Res Evil Revelations 2
it's just so big. Like
I've
got so many other games, so many great games sitting on top of this one in a pile that, I would have to beat so many other great games to get down to this one. I just don't think I have time for it.
It's true, and it's not a game, honestly, that I heard people rave about it much longer. Very quickly after its release, it disappeared.
Yeah, like it made a bit of a splash with its marketing because it did have some unique things going for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game set in basically a version of New Orleans, and you get to play as a black man as a protagonist who is a veteran who's facing racism, and it had a great soundtrack, and it had a lot of things going for it, but it just wasn't executed very well. It was a lot of rinse and repeat gameplay that just kind of got old.
Okay, there it is. All right.
That's
Goodbye,
my send-off.
Mafia 3.
All right. Final bracket of this spring cleaning. This is Trav's Iggy bracket.
Iggy.
Matchup number 1. Now, this is one that we made a video of a long time ago versus a game that I bought you and your wife. Decap Attack versus Adventures of Lolo 3.
Yeah. Lolo 3, I just need to ball up. It's just been hard.
Yeah.
I'm at a very difficult part of that game. And when I think about playing it again, I'm like, I'm too drunk right now to go play that.
Usually.
Right now. And Decap Attack, I think it's fun thematically. It's just kind of hard. So I'm going to kick it down.
Kick it down.
I think Lolo, I like the puzzles a little more than
Decap Attacking.
Yeah. I
Fair
think
enough.
So. I think
Fair fucking enough. So here's the next matchup. Now this is a classic on rails fantasy shooter versus a game that I loved, not as much as others. Brian loved it, and that is Panzer Dragoon versus Oxenfree.
Yeah. I hit a wall on Panzer Dragoon as well.
Okay.
Being a rail shooter, there's one level that was tough, couldn't get past it, but Oxenfree just annoyed me.
Oxenfree annoyed you?
I don't know what it was about that game. I wanted to like it, and maybe I just didn't get to a point where it was fun. I think people said, the first stanza is a bit dry, and then it picks up, but
okay,
I'm willing to kick it down in this round.
Oh, shit. Okay, Oxenfree advancing in the elimination. Okay, next up. Now, this is a fun one for me to talk about.
Oh, boy.
First of all, we've got the zany, wacky. There's the confusion. The zany, wacky, open-world crime that is Saints Row the Third versus a game that just will not go away for you in Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, man. It's tough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
Tell me why it's tough. Talk me through what you're thinking.
What was the first game again?
The first game is Saints Row the Third. Yeah.
A
lot of purple. Just think purple.
I'm near the end of both. My issue with Saints Row the Third is my PC's been acting weird. That's what I have that game on.
Okay.
And I think I could wrap it up if like my video card wouldn't like blue screen my computer every time I tried to do the mission with all the jets.
Son of a bitch.
I think that would have been done a long time ago.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII is what I'm hanging on to because I'm right at the fucking end.
And you feel like you need that in a way, right? You feel like you're like right there.
But part of me is like,
why bother?
I don't feel like trying it.
Right.
It's been so long.
So long.
3 years easily. 2 years.
Okay. And what's your decision?
I think I'm going to keep Saints Row the Third
because it's beatable.
It's certainly beatable.
Certainly beatable.
And it's honestly more fun for me.
A little more fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII is just more of a notch in the belt game right now, and I'm just keeping a lot of games.
Who do you have something to prove to, right? I mean, at the end of the day.
But it's one of just personal things.
Sure.
Like I've come so far.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. Final of the main matchups here is a cutesy thing versus something horrific, and that is Kirby's Epic Yarn versus Parasite Eve 2.
I only play Kirby's Epic Yarn with my wife, and I'm not sure she's having fun with it anymore, honestly. And it's always been a bit, I won't say beneath me, but it's a more of a kiddie game.
It's very childish.
Very childish game.
Yes.
There's not a lot there for me. It's very easy, very simple. Parasite Eve 2 I loved. I just stopped.
You haven't played it in ages, right?
I haven't played it in ages.
Haven't played it in ages. Who's moving forward?
I'm going to kick Kirby down.
Kick Kirby down. That's hateful.
Get down there, Kirb.
All right. Semi-final
Kirb
matchup. Oh, God. That's good. I'm upset I didn't think of that. All right, so semifinal matchup number 1, Decap Attack versus Oxenfree.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's a weird situation.
It is a weird situation. I am not at all excited to ever play Oxenfree.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, who's making the cut?
Kick Oxenfree down.
Oxenfree down. Wow.
I'm just not excited to play that game.
See, I really thought this was ring all your bells because it's teens on a haunted island. It's very Goonies-esque. It's set in the, like the somewhat timeless, but you get the feeling that there's some like 80s-ness to it. It's essentially a ghost story, and I can't believe you don't like it. So, whatever.
It seems a little slow, I guess. I don't know.
You're slow. All right, so Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it was mean but accurate.
Like how it took you a while to say that. Yeah. All right, so Final Fantasy VII versus Kirby's Epic Yarn. How's this go?
Sorry, I didn't mean to touch the mic there. I think I got to kick Kirby down and keep Final Fantasy.
Keep Kirby down.
I think so.
Okay. All right, and here is the final matchup of the day.
Oh, man. I put myself in a pickle.
You have put yourself in quite
like
the pickle.
Yeah.
Remember, you just don't have to bitch about this for a year. That's it.
That's it.
So, Oxenfree versus Kirby's Epic Yarn.
I mean, I could go in there right now and beat Kirby's Epic Yarn, and we wouldn't even be having this fucking discussion.
Right.
Which is what'll stay.
Oxenfree gets off the log.
Yeah, let's just get it over with.
Let's just cut ties with that right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
Yeah.
Can't believe you.
I tell you what, to make amends, I will be sure that Kirby's Epic Yarn is beaten by the next podcast.
You don't have to make amends. I'm just shocked that you don't want Oxenfree.
Internally, it's like, all right, if you're going to pick it over this game, you better fucking beat it. So I'm going to get it off the backlog.
I was not saying that.
No, I'm saying it to me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're right. The recipe for Oxenfree is there. I like the ingredients. But when I started playing the game, I played it for like an hour maybe, and I was just like, ugh, so boring. I guess I just didn't get to the good part, but at first blush, wasn't having fun with it.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is, and there we go. We've reached the end of the tournament.
We've climaxed in the discussion. Thank you, everyone, that was along for the ride. How long did we go today?
Just an hour 24.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Done worse.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, for hanging out. We have a little bit of a surprise next time.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little fun next ep. Be sure to check us out on all the stuff. Like us where you can like us. Thumb up us where you can stick a thumb up us. And visit our website or something.
Do all that stuff that we talked about halfway through the show.
I'm at Trav Plays Games.
I'm at the Big Axle.
We're at Polykill. See you later.
Peace.